Welcome the most fearsome football player of them all, Mr. L.T. Lawrence Taylor. And what we've learned with 56 on his jersey turned a mediocre New York Giants team into a Super Bowl.
To do anything you want. That's how talented he was.
In the Giants' magical
Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants was probably the most intimidating, the most fearsome defensive player in the history of the NFL.
That's on most backs, if not all.
There's Lawrence Taylor with one man trying to block him. It can't happen. One man cannot block Lawrence Taylor.
In the running game, they had to come up with some schemes where they could keep him from just running behind. The challenge was to let the talent flourish without breaking down the structure of the defense. We're playing against the Cardinals. He was supposed to be. I said, look, you got this wrong. You're off in coverage. You're not rushing. Oh, yeah. You tell him. Oh, yeah. You tell him. So later in the game, the same situation comes up.
I hope I never get back in there. I will kick your fucking ass.
The same situation comes up. And do you know the son of a gun does the same thing, but this time he sacks Neil Lomax. George Martin picks it up with traditional ways of pass protecting. I did it again, didn't I? And I said, yeah.
And then, of course, there was Lawrence Taylor, the finest young defensive player.
I said, yeah, you did it again. And I said, we don't even have what you're... And I'm just staring at him cold. And he goes...
This cat would go 100 miles per hour. When he's in there and practicing his reps, and sometimes he takes scout team reps, 100 miles per hour.
This guy is a legend.
I like Lawrence Taylor, man.
Story, Lawrence Taylor from day one impacted the team, showed he was the best player on the field, way better than everybody else.
56 numbers in the stands.
Yeah, you played against some stallions, bro, like great defensive players of all time.
Cunningham will put it up. He beats one man, beats another, he's hit again, and down he goes.
There's something about Lawrence Taylor.
His speed, his tenacity, his fearlessness, and intimidation. Man, I got a story for you, man. This is my rookie year.
We like stories.
We opened up the season with the New York Giants, my rookie season, 1983. And
how was LT, and then when did you feel like, how many years did it take you to feel like you had your footing? So first, how was LT as a
LT was a great teammate. Crazy.
Game speed.
Game when speed. He showed up, and that's one thing I learned from him. In practice was game speed. It wasn't going through the motions. And then in the meetings, I didn't learn nothing from him there because this cat would come in, get a towel, roll it up, and lay on the floor and go to sleep the entire meeting.
There's a specific kind of fear that never fully leaves a person. Not the fear of losing a game, not the fear of a bad season. Something deeper than that, something physical, something that gets wired into you at a cellular level and stays there long after the cleats come off and the shoulder pads go into storage forever. Every quarterback who faced Lawrence Taylor knows exactly what that feels like. Ask them about it today. Men in their 60s, men with nothing left to prove, men who built their own Hall of Fame legacies, and watch what happens. The pause, the redirect, the laugh that doesn't sound like a laugh. Some things, once you've lived them, you don't revisit by choice. Lawrence Taylor was one of those things. NFL draft. New York Giants select Lawrence Taylor out of North Carolina. 2nd overall pick. He weighed 237 pounds.
The New York Giants, first round selection. Lawrence Taylor, linebacker, North Carolina.
He ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. On paper, those are the numbers of a very good linebacker. Athletic, fast, promising. What those numbers could not prepare anyone for was what happened when you actually put him on a football field. The first thing offensive coordinators noticed was the first step. Off the snap, Taylor was already past where your tackle expected him to be. Not a half-step advantage, a full step, sometimes more. And in the NFL, a full step off the line of scrimmage is the difference between a clean pocket and a quarterback on the turf. Then there was the bend, that low, impossible gear he could hit at full speed around the corner. his body at an angle that defied what a 237-pound man should physically be able to do, that made offensive tackles reach for air on plays they'd practiced 1,000 times. But here's the part that quarterbacks actually lose sleep over, and this is the part that never shows up in highlight reels. Before the snap, before a single player moved, Taylor was already inside your head. You'd come to the line, you'd scan the defense, and the moment you located him, some portion of your mental processing that was supposed to be dedicated to reading coverages, identifying your progressions, going through your checks, that portion got permanently redirected to him every single snap. Where is 56? Which side is he on? Is he rushing or dropping? Is that a stunt? Does he have a free lane? That's not a pass rusher. That's a psychological condition. And it was completely incurable for 13 seasons. The official record shows 132.5 career sacks. That number is extraordinary. And it places Lawrence Taylor among the most prolific pass rushers in the history of professional football. But if you think 132.5 sacks is the real story, you're only reading half the page, because the more devastating statistic doesn't exist anywhere in any record book. It's the throws that came out 0.3 seconds earlier than the quarterback wanted. It's the checkdowns to the running back that happened not because it was the right read, but because holding the ball one more second wasn't survivable. It's the run plays called at the line of scrimmage specifically to get a chip block on Taylor before he could build a full head of steam. It's entire offensive game plans built not around what your team wanted to do, but around what Lawrence Taylor would allow you to do. Those plays don't appear in any stat column.
It's my rookie year.
We like stories.
We opened up the season with the New York Giants.
Word awesome. The guy was the greatest I've ever been around.
He really wasn't that good as a freshman. I think he was a starter and he was okay as a sophomore.
My junior year, I decided I'd rather be respected on the football field than in the streets.
As a junior and a senior, he just kept getting better and better and better.
But every offensive coordinator who faced the Giants in the 1980s knows exactly what they cost. Then there's 1986. That season, Lawrence Taylor posted 20.5 sacks. The Giants went 14-2, and at the end of that year, the Associated Press handed him the NFL Most Valuable Player Award, an award that in the modern era belongs almost exclusively to quarterbacks and skill position players. He was a linebacker, a defensive player, and the entire sport looked at what he was doing and said, there is no other choice. In the last 50 years of professional football, no defensive player has won that award outright. Not Reggie White, not Deacon Jones, not Ray Lewis, not anyone. Just Taylor, just 1986. There is one play, one single play, that crystallized everything quarterbacks felt about Lawrence Taylor into a permanent, undeniable image. November 18th, 1985. Giants versus Washington. Monday Night Football. 60 million people watching. Washington quarterback Joe Theismann takes the snap on 2nd and 7. The play design is a flea flicker meant to freeze the defense, create confusion, buy time. It was a smart call, a well-designed play. It didn't matter. Taylor reads the backfield, gets around the edge, and brings Theismann down in a collision that ends his NFL career on that play, on that field, on that night. 2 leg fractures. Theismann never takes another snap in the league. What happened next is the part most people don't talk about. Taylor was the first person to reach him, and in the moment he understood what he'd done, the moment the ferocity gave way to the reality of what was on the ground in front of him, he stood up and started waving frantically for the medical staff. Urgently, repeatedly. The expression on his face had nothing to do with football anymore. That image captures both things at once. The violence the position demanded of him, and the human being underneath it. Quarterbacks were already afraid before that Monday night. But November 18th, 1985, gave that fear something it didn't have before. A face, a moment, a permanent document. Lawrence Taylor retired in 1993. First ballot Hall of Fame, 1999. 2 Super Bowl rings. The most decorated defensive player of his generation. And none of that is why you remember him. You remember him because of the way quarterbacks act when his name comes up. Yet 30-plus years after his last snap, long after the rivalries cooled and the competitive fire burned down to something manageable. These are men in their 60s and 70s now, men who built their own legacies, men who faced hostile crowds in championship games and delivered, men who have nothing left to prove to anyone on this earth, and they still won't fully go there. That pause before the answer, that redirect, that laugh that comes out wrong, too short, too nervous, too much air behind it, that's not nostalgia. That's not performance. That's a nervous system that got rewired during 13 NFL seasons and never fully reset. The body remembers what the mind tries to let go of. That is the actual measure of Lawrence Taylor. Not the sacks, not the MVP, not the Super Bowls. And it's the fact that the most battle-hardened quarterbacks this sport has ever produced, men who stared down every other form of pressure the game could generate, still can't discuss him the way they discuss everyone else. Some players get remembered, some get respected, some get admired from a safe distance, the way you admire something that can no longer reach you. Lawrence Taylor never became that. He never became safe. He stayed exactly where he always was, right at the edge of what quarterbacks could process, right at the boundary of what the brain files under things I can revisit without consequence. Most of them decided it wasn't worth finding out. Number 56, New York Giants, 1981 to 1993. The question they still won't answer.